to 𝗥𝗵𝗲 show. We are always glad to have you all, because you know what, 80% is showing up, and Rhea and I, we always want to give you the best available value that we can so that you improve your life in whole, in general, in life and in business as well. So today I'm going to be leading the conversation, and I want to share with you when it comes to your mindset. That's what I love to talk about when it comes to your mind, because your mind is the most complex and powerful tool that we have, but it's how do we utilize that's going to be the difference. So without further ado, before I do go ahead, I want to introduce you all. Welcome to the show. If you're new, welcome. And so my name is 𝗥𝗵𝗲.
My name is Rhea.
And welcome to our
show.
And this chapter talks about what is the belief that we have in ourselves, because you know what, fear and your experiences, they go hand in hand. So for example, what you have fear of could be fear of, say, in your business, in your in your 9 to 5, you have a fear of giving presentations at work. Okay, you have a fear of doing presentations. So that's an example I'm just going to give to you. So for example, say you have fear of presenting. And a lot of people do have a fear when it comes to presenting, because you're not used to it. You're not used to doing presentations, and so when your boss asks you to, okay, tomorrow, Rhea, you're going to be presenting. If you've not done a presentation, you are going to be petrified. You're going to be You're going to be fearful of getting up in front of people and speaking. It's natural. However, there is a flip side to that, because fear. So essentially, this chapter, the Trample barrier, is that there's a barrier that is always put. There's a wall, right? There's a wall. So there's a wall, right? And you're trying to go across. How can you go to the other side? You can't go to the other side because you have to cross. You have to cross that wall to get to the other side. And so your success, you're here, right? You're here, and you want to go there with your presentation. You want to excel in your presentation. So what happens is we sabotage our results. We sabotage the moment. We think, oh my gosh, I have to speak tomorrow. Oh, how can I do this? How is it possible? And the moment we keep saying that to ourselves, oh, how can I do this? Oh, how can this happen? The moment that happens, that's it. You've clearly said to your mind, you've clearly said to yourself, or you're clearly affirming to yourself, I'm not capable of achieving this. So that is what I'm trying to say, is that we have to trample. We're trampling, we're treading on the mindset, the negative mindset. We are trampling, and we want to get over. We want to get over. We want to get across to the other side. And so the other side is where the success is. The other side is where you are now experiencing that growth, because fear and growth go hand in hand. Because if you're fearful of one thing, guess what? That means you are going to have growth in that area as well. So if your fear of speaking, if your fear of presenting, over time, that's gonna excel. That's gonna be growth that you will have, and then you will see that you will begin to see in yourself how much you have actually grown, how much growth there has been from the moment that you were saying to yourself, oh my gosh, I have to do this or I have to do that. And when you begin to do that, you've experienced that threshold, you've gone over, right, over that wall that was blocking you from not penetrating through. That's good, and that's a growth in itself. So as always, I do want to share when it comes to the stick figure, because the stick figure is a great example of where people normally are to where they want to go. And so, your conscious mind is your intellectual and your educated mind. Whereas your subconscious is your feeling and your emotional mind. And this is where we need to be. We always need to be, and this is your body, right? And then this is your results. So we always want to be at the subconscious, your feeling and your emotional, because when you come with a feeling of that goal that you have, when you come with a feeling and you set emotions you attach the emotion to that feeling, to that goal, then this is what truly begins to happen. So I just wanted to give you a quick illustration, okay? So take this for example. So you've got you've got your thoughts, all right? And then here we have, so this illustration is your thoughts, and here is your body, okay? And then this body and this illustration, let me just do that one again. Oh, my pen just went off. Okay. And then this illustration, okay. And then this illustration, you've got the X, right? And here you got your body, you've got your limbs. So these illustrations, and then you've got another illustration here. You got your body, you got your limbs, and on this side, this is the wall. So basically, what I'm trying to get at here is your thoughts. Okay, this is where your thoughts are, and your thoughts and your feelings and the emotional part. So whatever we are wanting to achieve. So as I said, presentation is the one example, because that's what, you do in your workplace. So that is your thoughts that you are already putting out there, that, I won't be able to do this presentation, or how can the presentation, how can I do it, or how can I be successful at it. So that's already your thoughts right here that you are putting out. And this one is the reasoning behind why your thoughts arise in the first place. And then this one is the conflict. So you have conflict that is going on between the thoughts that you have, the reasoning behind why these thoughts have arisen in the first place. Or the presentation, I'm not going to be good, I'm gonna suck, I'm gonna, all these is the reasoning behind what is going on in your mind. So what are you telling yourself? And the more that you are saying to yourself, I can't do this, I can't do this presentation. What happens? Then your mind begins to say, okay, well, you're not going to do it. Okay, forget it. Then your mind, because when you quit, your mind also quits. Then your mind says, okay, well, you've already given up on yourself. So that's the barrier right here. You're putting that wall. You're putting that wall up. You're putting that to say, okay, well, I can do this. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And so rather than looking at it, okay, so these 3 illustrations, we've already said this is where you begin to quit. You quit on yourself. You quit on the potential that you never know that you might have, but because you quit, you're not going to see that, right? So you're not going to see that, but rather than looking at it this way, that we have our body, then we have our limbs, okay? And this is what begins to happen. This is when we say, okay, you know what, I can do the presentation. I am going to be, I can do this. This is where freedom comes. And then this is now you've broken past that barrier, that wall. You've gone past it. You've penetrated through it because you've seen that you have the potential. You do have the potential. And because you gave yourself a chance in these three illustrations, you didn't give yourself the chance. Your thoughts were negative. Then your thoughts, because they were negative, the reasoning behind that was clearly your thoughts were they were in the lower vibration. You were not vibrating at the frequency that you can, but you didn't give yourself a chance, and therefore conflicts. Your mind is now in a conflict. Oh, can I do this? Oh no, wait a minute, I can do this. Oh no, wait a minute, I can do this. So you see what I'm saying? Your mind is conflicting, and that's what happens. And so you quit. But because you've gone through that barrier, you've gone through that wall, now you have the freedom, because now you see the icing on the cake. You've seen, oh wow, okay, this is great, it feels great. So when we begin to compare our life, is just very simple. Comparing your life, okay, compare life is, we need to be in that vibration all the time. So when you're in that higher vibration, that is when things begin to happen, things begin to change, and it's over a period of time. But I mean, you got to be consistent when it comes to change, and especially when it comes to your mindset, how we are and how we operate and how we behave, how we think, feel, and act is your paradigms, your limiting beliefs, your habitual behaviors that we have all, myself included, we have all been there. And so that's pretty much the essence. So I'm just going to stop right here, because that pretty much is the essence of what needs to happen when we are always operating on that frequency, that we know that we have the potential, that we know we can go past that barrier, we can break through that wall, and nothing is going to be sort of come in. So I'm just going to stop it right there, because I know there's a lot to digest, especially when it comes to this, when it comes to your mind, when it comes to, okay, how do I begin to trample the barrier? And how you can begin to trample over the barriers is your thoughts. How do you not set yourself up for failure? How do you not set yourself up so that you are always, okay? And remember this, that you are always need to be in the higher vibration, that you always need to, that you have the potential, that you can do the presentation. So your boss asks you tomorrow, hey, I want you to do this presentation, and you're gonna present in front of your colleagues. You will jump at the chance. Why? Because just like I shared with you, the freedom, because yes, I can. I put work into it, and now I'm going to give a kick-ass presentation, and it's going to be great. And the more that you begin to say that to yourself, remember those 3 words: your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Your actions are the results of your thoughts. You're not going to take any action, whether it's negative or positive. You're not going to take action if your thoughts and feelings, first of all, are not in alignment. So I'm just going to stop right there. If you have questions, that's great. If not, that's okay, because I know there was a lot to digest today. Ria.
Thank you,
𝗥𝗵𝗲. You're welcome.
Yes, that was very powerful. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions need to be aligned. You need to have a higher vibration. Wow. So hopefully you guys took a lot of notes, because I certainly did. One of our mentors, right, Grant Cardone, no negativity, no excuses, and no complaints. Just do it.
Exactly. Well, you know what? Complaints won't really get you anywhere. I mean, you can complain all day long, and there are a lot of people. Most people do. They complain, or the weather. They complain about the weather, or they complain about things. But complaint, really, if you think about it, it's not really it's not conducive to what we are working towards. It's not conducive to what you want. It's not conducive to what you and your family are working towards, right? So why even complain? So yeah.
And one
exactly.
other thing,
The
other thing too is that when we are fearful, just like public speaking, because I feel like we're getting out of our comfort zone, right? So when you are not an expert, or when you are not used to doing what you're regularly doing, then that's when the fear mode starts to kick in. So
absolutely,
what Grant Cardone always tell us is lean into your fear, because that is telling you to do it. So lean into your fear.
Lean into it. Exactly. Lean into it. And the more that you can begin to lean into it, then the more you're going to see over a period of time. Yeah, that is absolutely what you should have done a long time ago. But you know what? You're never too late. You're never too late to do that. You're never too late to learn and do anything. And, I could absolutely attest to that. You're never too late to do anything. And
amen.
As long as, right? Yeah. And we're at the church. So as long as you are always willing to see what you have inside of you, you're always willing to see that and implement and take actions. Okay, but actions with that, first of all, I mean, you know what? You've got to improve on your thoughts. Every single day, you need to improve on your thoughts. And you might be asking, okay, well, it's easy. How do I improve on my thoughts? Okay, so how you can improve on your thoughts, and this is the final thought I will leave with you. How you can improve on your thoughts is to always stay in the higher frequency. Now, you might be asking, okay, well, how do I even begin to stay in the higher frequency? Well, it's the affirmations. It's the affirmations. What are you affirming to yourself daily? You can start by saying, I am a believer in speaking. I am speaking confidently. I am speaking confidently. And then when you begin to affirm that every single day, it's got to be every single day, not just one time and that's it. It's got to be every single day, because that's where change comes. Change begins to happen. It's going to be 67 days that you begin to see the change. It's not 67 days and, that's it. And, I've done it one time and I'm good. No, if you want to be really good, you got to allow time. And time doesn't happen. Rome was not built in a day. And we, all of us, were not built in a day. It took time. God made us, you know, carefully, and he crafted us carefully because he knows potential that we have, all of us, to achieve so much more. So my friends, I am going to repeat this subject because, you know, more repetition is the key to mastery. And the more you master this, the more it's going to be really, you know, it's going to help you in the long run. And that's what I want. That's what we want. And so we've come to the end of another amazing show, but, you know, I hope you got a lot of information, but I will come back to this and, you know, go out, at least, you know, implement on what you learned. Okay, that's what I want from you. Just implement what I learned, what I taught, and make the rest of the day the best of your day. And we will see you soon.